Hey guys, Nick Willis here, and welcome back to another First Impressions video. And before we get into this, let me just turn that down. Okay, so today I'm doing a First Impressions video on the wow, I can't English apparently. The recently released album by the Raven Age called Blood Omen. I'm a bit late to this. You know, I did listen to it when it first came out. I just haven't gotten around to doing an actual video about it until now. I did actually record a reaction video to the closing song of the album because it had a visualizer that was released for it, but it got blocked. So thanks for that, Raven Age. No, excuse me, I doubt it was them. It was probably, you know, their record label or something like that. But yeah, this album is honestly really solid. If you're not familiar with this band, they're a criminally underrated, like, melodic metalcore / traditional heavy metal kind of band. At least that's the kind of vibe I get from them. They don't have very much screaming, so if you don't like screaming, you might like this band. Personally, I like screaming, but I don't think they really need it, to be honest. Excuse me. But yeah, Blood Omen. This is their, like, oh god, I want to say third full-length album. I think they also did like a compilation album, but if we're just talking non-compilation album, I'm pretty sure this is their third. It was I forget the name of their first album, and then Conspiracy, and then this album. So yeah, and I will say it's much shorter than Conspiracy, which was a little disappointing. It's only 9 songs. But as a result, it's not too difficult to get through the album. Excuse me, my throat's a little hoarse right now. And yeah, so it kind of starts off with this little short, like 2-minute instrumental, which is really cool. There's like this, I don't know for certain if it's a guitar. I think it's like a Spanish guitar or a classical guitar or something like that. There's a lot of strings and stuff. It's very cinematic. And as far as I know, they did use an actual orchestra for the string parts in this album, which I think is cool. And there's, a lot of orchestral elements throughout this album. I don't remember Conspiracy having those, or at the very least, I don't remember it having many of those. So that was cool. And then it goes right into the first, real song, Parasite. And already, once you get to that first riff, it has this, it almost feels like an Avenged Sevenfold riff or something. A lot of the riffs from their previous album were a lot more, traditionally metalcore based. With, like the 5/7/8 sort of thing, and then the harmonies and stuff. Which is still cool. But it was really interesting. Some of the riffs in this album were pretty interesting. And then, after that, is probably my favorite song on the album, which is Serpent's Tongue. Either that or Forgive and Forget will be my favorite song on the album. And Serpent's Tongue is just so good, man. For me, it's the chorus and the guitar solo that make it. At least for me. And also, like, the pre-chorus. The verses are great, too, but I don't like them as much as those specific parts of the song. The weird thing is that my favorite songs in the album ended up being the ones that, the singles, the ones that had accompanying videos or visualizers. So I'm having a little trouble remembering everything from some of the other songs more. I'm having trouble remembering the titles. But I'm pretty sure the one that comes after that is Essence of Time. That's another good one. And what's kind of cool about it is it has this, like, pseudo breakdown thing in the middle of it, with chugging and then some leads and then some more chugging and then some leads again, which is neat. They also do the whole key change thing for the chorus, which I thought was cool, and it. There are some other songs in the album where they do key change stuff, but unlike some other bands, to me at least, it never ended up sounding clunky or awkward. And to be fair, this is just more of a me thing. This isn't necessarily a problem with bands themselves that do key changes. It's just a me thing. For me, key changes to me, they often can feel clunky and awkward. But this, at least in this song by this band, they make it work really well. It just goes right in there, and you hardly even notice. Nostradamus. I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation for the song that comes after. Honestly, I have trouble remembering much from that song, but I do remember it's really good. I remember I want to say the pre-chorus and the chorus. I'm trying to remember after that. I'm pretty sure is "Forgive and Forget," which is probably my other favorite song in the album. And the music video for that song is so interesting. It's really cool, but I don't think it has very much to do with the actual song itself. I have a pretty good idea of what the song talks about, like what the meaning of it is, but I'm not going to try to actually say it here because I'm going to totally get it completely wrong, most likely, and embarrass myself. But I just really love that song's chorus and all of its melodies in general. The guitar solo is great too. Yeah, and then after that, oh god, The Journey, I believe. Beautiful song, honestly. It's not my favorite in the album, like, at all, but man, it has this. It's kind of like a power ballad type of thing, maybe a slightly heavier version of a power ballad, but it's got a lot of these different cinematic elements to it, and it ends with this, like, I don't know if it's a music box or what it is, but it gives a similar vibe that's repeating, like, a melody from a couple other parts of the song. And the chorus with the little lead fills that they do in between the lyrics. A little cheesy, but still sounds really cool in my opinion. Although I wish you could hear the actual lead parts better. They're kind of buried in the mix a little bit. What's the one that comes after it? I actually cannot remember the name of the song that comes after it. But they mess around with blast beats, kind of, a little bit in that one. For example, during the pre-chorus, there are a couple of distinct sections where it'll do a kind of a blast type thing, and then go to a normal, more traditional kind of beat, rhythm, groove, whatever you want to call it, and then blast again, and then go back to normal, and then go into the chorus. And that chorus is very simple, a little sparse, but still pretty good either way. And I'm really pissed off that I can't remember what the song is called, actually. I'm just trying to think here. Like, I literally just listened to the album. I literally just listened to the album before recording this, and it was like my third or fourth time listening to the full album, and I can't remember the title of that song. And it's not the song's fault, I don't think. I think that's just on me. God, why can't I remember it? This is pissing me off. Hang on. Give me 1 sec. Okay, I was gonna just Google the song, or rather Google the album and go through the track list to check to remember what the title of the song is. But my internet's being slow right now, so crap. This is so embarrassing that I can't remember the name of that song. Hang on. I'm just gonna... War in Heaven, that's the name of the song. Yeah, and then the album closer is called Tears of Stone, and this is the one I reacted to. Like I mentioned earlier, I released a reaction video for one of the songs, and it got blocked. It's kind of funny, actually, because that's the first time that's ever happened to me. I've never had a reaction video blocked on me before. Don't worry, though, it's not like a copyright strike or anything. It's just a copyright claim, and it's blocked. Nobody can see it. I do not know how to deal with that. I know that sometimes you can like fight these kinds of things. I don't really know how to do that. If any of you have any suggestions in the comments, let me know. Or hell, if the band themselves are watching this and they want to try to see if they can get it unblocked somehow, I don't know if they'd have the power to do that. I mean, it is their song, but I don't know if they'd have the power to do that. But from what I know of them, they really don't strike me as the kind of people who wouldn't mind reaction videos. But then again, I haven't seen any other reaction videos to this band, so I'm not 100% sure. But either way, pretty strong closing song. I'll admit that it's not, in my opinion... Sorry, I have a cough drop in right now. In my opinion, it's not as strong of an album closer as Grave of the Fireflies from the previous album was. It doesn't feel quite as much like an epic. It feels a little bit more like a normal length song that happens to be a little bit long. And I think part of that is because there's no bridge or anything. It's just, They got this really cool intro, and then like a riff, although it's more of it's a lead part over a riff, I believe, and then verse, pre-chorus, chorus, another verse, another pre-chorus, chorus again, then pretty lengthy guitar solo, which was actually cool because it had a couple of distinct sections. Like it had this dual guitar like harmonizing section, like, and then the first part of it was just a more traditional solo, and it was also a tempo change, and at the end it gradually slowed back down to the original tempo, which was cool. But again, I still wish there was a bridge or something. There is like an instrumental outro, which was cool, but again, I just wish I wish that there was a bridge. It didn't feel quite as climactic of a conclusion as Grave of the Fireflies did. It didn't feel as much like an epic. Still a really good song, though. There's not a bad song in this album. I'll admit there are a couple songs that I don't like as much as others, but I like all the songs in this album. And to be honest with you, I think I like this more than Conspiracy, but I will admit there are certain things that are lost. The riffs in this album, I feel like, didn't quite jump out at me as much. And I think a lot of that is because there aren't quite as many of them. A lot of them are more like lead parts and stuff, which are over rhythm guitar parts. The verses in this album also, some of them didn't keep my interest quite as much. But I feel like overall, the actual songwriting is definitely a step up from Conspiracy. One thing, though, I will admit, I think Conspiracy had a little more variety in its sound in this album. But to be fair, this album's only 9 songs. Excuse me. But I do wish there was a little more variety in there. They all kind of have the same kind of sound to them and everything. And don't get me wrong, that sound is still really cool. It's just when you're listening to a full-length album that can kind of start to get a little old. But I don't think that was too much the case here, since it was only 9 songs. If it was a really long album, then it probably would be a bit more of a problem. But yeah, unlike my Metallica First Impressions video for 72 Seasons, I don't have any specific notes written. This is completely off the cuff. But yeah. What do I have for other complaints about the album? I can't really think of any off the top of my head. The production is a lot better. I do want to say that. It's a lot easier to listen to. It sounds a lot cleaner. There were many times in the previous album where the guitar tone could get really, what's the word? I want to say rough? Harsh, that's the word. Harsh. And I never really felt that here. I do wish the kick drum was a little louder in certain areas. There are a lot of the time you can't quite feel it as much. But yeah, I think that's about it, honestly. I can't really think of any other complaints I have about this album. A really solid album. I'm probably going to get it on CD. If you're going to check out this band, I'd recommend listening to Conspiracy first, then listening to this one. You should probably also listen to their debut album, but what was the name of that album? I'm actually kind of mad that I can't remember. I want to say Darkness Will Rise, but let me double check that just to be sure. Close this out. Releases. Darkness Will Rise, yes. That band had a different vocalist who did a good job, but he wasn't nearly as good as their current vocalist. You could start with the first album if you want to really see how they improved over time, but if you just want to get a good idea of their current sound, I'd listen to Conspiracy and then Blood Omen. But yeah, I'm very interested to see where this band goes next. And all in all, I thought this was a really solid album. If you like metalcore and you also like traditional heavy metal, like you like the guitar solos and some of the guitar work that traditional heavy metal has, but you also like the melodies and choruses of metalcore and stuff of that nature, I could see you really liking this band and this specific album. Also, if you're not into screaming, this would be a good band for you to listen to, I think, because they have very little screaming in their albums. And it can also kind of help you move your way up to stuff that does have more screaming in it. So yeah, if you guys have enjoyed this first impressions video, be sure to leave a like and do all the crap if you want to. That's up to you. Good job with this album, guys, and I'm, I'll be here for whatever you guys do next. All that out of the way, I'm pretty sure there's nothing else I want to say, but I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, here we go. There is one last thing I think I should mention right now, and it's that there's a specific song in this album, Forgive and Forget, that I want to do like a fan-made lyric video for. That's just something I like to do sometimes, is I'll occasionally make fan-made lyric videos for, songs that other bands have written. There's a specific Wolves at the Gate song that I also want to do one of those for, and possibly an Avenged Sevenfold song as well. But since my reaction video got blocked, if the band happens to be watching this, I want to know if that's okay with you guys, because I don't want to do a reaction, do a lyric video of one of your songs, then have it also get blocked, or like get in any trouble because of a lyric video. And obviously, if you guys don't want me to do it, then obviously I won't. I'd like to respect people's wishes. But yeah, for real this time, I think that's it. For upcoming videos, I do have another Citizen Soldier reaction coming up. This video is just going to be uploaded like right after I'm recording it. So, yeah. I did record a couple other non-Citizen Soldier reactions. The Raven Age one was one, and I also did a reaction to a new Iris release. Unfortunately, I can't upload the one with the Iris song because my webcam, I guess I forgot to record audio on it or something. So it's not usable. But the Citizen Soldier reaction I recorded will be getting released. If you guys have any other bands you think I should check out and do reactions to that you'd think I'd like, based off of the bands you've seen me react to on this channel, feel free to let me know. All out of the way for real this time. Peace out, and don't be afraid to show who you are.